gonna have any fights this week? Oh man, we gotta have some fights.
What's up? Where's the music? Where's the music?
I'm running behind it. It's coming. It's right there.
Hey, like it never happened. Welcome to the cage match. Oakland Raider Savage with Asylum. Asylum, how you doing?
I'm doing all right considering I'm getting tired of State Farm commercials. I'm telling you that.
Mahomes and Maotto. How about get off my TV?
Yeah, well, I wish, but not out here in freaking Kansas.
I know you're like right in the middle of all that mess.
Yep. And trust me, thankfully, most of my Kansas City fans at work haven't showed up for the week, so I haven't had to hear too much about the damn game. But it's okay. We played fairly well considering. I enjoyed some of what I saw. Other parts of it, not so much.
Yeah, I mean, but this team has been put together with super glue and bubblegum. So, and the Chiefs had a hard time with us in the beginning of the show. So, hey, I'll take it.
I was preparing more for something else that was supposed to be happening today, so we had to call an audible. I was preparing. We have a special guest that's going to be coming on, and she knows her shit. And I was getting ready to prepare to go toe to toe. And I had all my ducks in a row and was ready to go. Did I?
No, now you're back. I think the PC people of YouTube and Facebook were trying to cut us out before we even started.
Hey, it depends. We have those issues. The NFL, we're fighting the NFL. You know that. YouTube, NFL, Facebook, we're fighting them all. It's us against the world.
Us against the world, like Tupac, or like Jada Pinkett. Anyways, so with that, let's go to our shameless plugs right here.
Our shameless plug, yes, our shameless plug. Go to the YouTube channel, our Facebook pages, Asylum, Oakland Raider Savage. Like, share, subscribe if it's YouTube. Help get us out there. The more you guys do this on Facebook, give us stars. The more you guys do this stuff, the more we're able to come out and be able to give content and hopefully be able to get more guests like we're going to have on today and, show that you like the show.
By the way, in the McDaniels offense, you're not allowed to audible, okay? So you're going against the grain right now.
We no longer have the McDaniels offense, so we were able to audible. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had to audible, and then me and our guests could have gone toe-to-toe.
Hey, the last person to audible in the McDaniels offense ended up on the Saints, okay? So I need you to relax, okay? Please.
Hey, I'm not
Stay
going to the Saints. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to the Saints.
stay within the hashes, okay? You do as I say, not as I do, or do as I do and do Scooby Doo do. All right.
All right.
Are we gonna go? Are we gonna go right into the special guest? Are we gonna?
Yeah.
Go right
we
in.
got here for a limited time. We got here for about 45 more minutes. So let's. I think we should just go ahead and go right into the guest, and then we can kind of audible after that. That's going to be the drinking. The drinking word of the day is audible.
The drinking word of the day. You know what? You keep saying audible, you're gonna find yourself on the streets like Marcus Peters.
Hey, well, that's what the whole kid that's what it's supposed to be about. But hey, you know what? He's getting paid though, so if I'm getting his money, I'm okay.
Nah, the last time I got fired, I didn't get paid. Actually, I got a severance. No, well, I don't know. All my vacations were given to me.
Yeah, I didn't get it. So,
all right, we keep falling off track. See, this is why call timeout. We keep falling off track. The game clock is running down. Come on, play clock. Let's go. Are we going? Let's go. You press it.
Hello.
Welcome, Peggy Holmes, to the Cage Match Show. We had a different idea.
From the Captain Jack show. She does a show with Captain Jack. It seems like every other Tuesday or whatever it is. So she looks familiar. You know why? We were able to.
Thank you so much for coming. Let me come on and give the Raider Nation lady. And I wanted to give a plug to the Raider Kings. In no other fan base do the women get to share their opinion, talk about football. You guys always have treated us as equals. I don't see that going on in any other fan base in the NFL. And I just wanted to share that with you. I call you my Raider Kings.
Oh,
thank you.
Right.
Our show's based off of knowledge. That's what we pride ourselves on is our Raider knowledge, history, and just knowledge, period. We don't like to talk about things just because we're trying to get that shock value or like, some of the other shows go about. So, all we ask is knowledge. And I know for a fact you have your knowledge. I've watched you on Captain's show. I asked you personally to be on the show to go toe-to-toe with me over our favorite subject from about a month ago, which was Marcus Peters. Unfortunately, the Raiders have taken that away from us.
Yeah, so mercifully.
But wait.
Peters.
I want to say, because she was talking about how the women of Raider Nation are up here with the men of Raider Nation. I mean, from Amy Trask to Sandra Douglas Morgan, women have always been up there in that, up there in the presidency, up on the top from Al Davis. So we have to continue that legacy also.
Yeah, but you guys
Raider Nation
always come through for us, and I've never ever in my 30 years of traveling around the nation, I've never been mistreated by any Raider male fan. And I know others may have some other experiences, but y'all share football knowledge.
Oh yeah,
and that's all I'm interested in. I'm not interested in the Madden fantasy football perspective that we get all the time. I'm really interested in how do we play better football as a team.
Yes,
definitely play better football. Or as in our situation now, currently in with our rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator, rookie quarterback, if we're seeing improvement. That's the important part. Sometimes we have these high expectations out of these players, but the important thing is when they're new, we want to see improvement, which I feel we have in at least definitely two of the three, if not a little bit in all three. But, we want to be able to see that the football thing's happening. We know mistakes are going to happen, especially with rookies, new play callers, new coaches who've not really done this and are doing it for the first time and got a lot on their plate. And, happen to do it on national TV, I mean, you got 25 million people watching you, and when you make a mistake, you definitely hear about it. It's not like you can hide.
But that's why I made my reference to the fantasy football Madden crowd. What did you expect? Andy Reid, 25 years of experience at the playoff and championship level, coaching versus Antonio Pierce with 3 weeks experience. As a matter of fact, name me one Raider coach that could match him move for move. You had to know, and this is something y'all said, the Raiders played well early. Kansas City always lets us play well early. That's Andy Reid's style because he's analyzing you. He's breaking down what you do. And by the second quarter, they had an answer already on offense on how to break our defense down. And by the third quarter, they shut the running game and took Devontae away from us. I'm telling you, that's how Andy coaches. If you're fearful, if you're not aggressive, he is going to take you apart quarter by quarter. That's how good they are. And we want to coach a staff that good.
That sounds like
what do you want to do? You want to sit there and lose it first. Why? Because you're watching it for everybody's tails.
Well, that's like the Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope. I'm gonna let you punch me until you get tired, and then I'm gonna take over for the rest of the fight.
Thank you.
And they've been the champs.
Kansas City. I'm tired of being afraid of them. There's nothing but Kermit the Frog sitting there with his little smirk on his face that I like to slap off. I always turn off the State Farm. I will never, ever subscribe to State Farm Insurance.
I'm here, though. I'm here. I'm here.
And I definitely don't care who they dating or who they taking to bed. Okay? We have got to stop this awe of Kansas City, like we don't know them and know what they do. We simply haven't had the talent.
This is one of the biggest rivalries in football, up there with the Bears in Green Bay, and those ancient rivalries that we've had since day one. Really, this is
Ben Davidson fighting Len Dawson.
Mm-hmm. I mean, come on. It doesn't get any more classic than that. And I think that Raider fans still don't understand that we don't yet have the coaching or the personnel yet to challenge them. That's why they're sitting on the sideline laughing at us. We're also not aggressive. And you could see it in Patrick Graham's defense. He plays some version of prevent, where all his guys are 15 yards off of every receiver at the snap.
Marcus Peters special. That's the Marcus Peters special. That's what I call that.
Oh, I wish you would have had a chance to debate, because see, Marcus was part of the Graham vision of defense. Graham is scared of Kansas City too, and his defense showed it. I'm really, really getting sick of it. But it'll start when we get better coaching and we upgrade talent on our D-line and our O-line. John Madden said, games are won and lost in the trenches, and the sooner that the Raiders, we need our Chris Jones, okay? We need our guys that keep our quarterback upright and our running lanes open. We don't have that yet.
And I think that's the one thing that a lot of people forget is it doesn't matter who you have back there as quarterback. If they are constantly on their back, they can't throw it to whoever you have as receiver.
Constantly running, constantly, fear, if you give the quarterback time, then he has time to make the plays. I mean, and that shows with even Patrick Mahomes. What makes him good is the fact that he could extend the plays when his offensive line finally collapses. And then, no cornerback can cover a receiver 100% of the time. Those receivers are always going to get open if you give them time.
That's why you have to have a pass rush. Don't talk to me about no defensive ends. We got enough ends. I can make Bozo the Clown an end, just like Dave Butts in Washington put Dexter Manley and Charles Mann on the map, okay? You've got to have that big guy in the middle, that beast, that guy that can, cover two gaps and can constantly collapse the pocket. Without that, you don't have a pass rush. And that probably segues into Peggy's perspective. I promised you, Raider Asylum, I was going to talk about sacred cows and
yes, you did.
untouchables in Raider Nation. And this is, again, another product of the Madden fantasy football crowd, where Raiders anoint people as heroes, the Crosbys, the Jacobs, the Adams, and then don't demand excellence from them. And what do I mean? I'm talking about who are the guys that really, Raider Savage, who are the guys that we call our legends? The guys who wrote. Yes.
We got the Stablers,
Hendricks.
the Hendricks, the Bo Jacksons, the Litnikoffs.
Right, but also the Jack Squiricks and Rod Martins of the world. Mm-hmm. Those role players, the Derek Ramseys, those role players that when the game was on the line and we needed a win, they didn't talk about, oh, I'm being held. Oh, there's no holes for me to run through. They got it done. And great players make big plays in big games. We needed those three guys, and I know Crosby has a bad wheel, but there you go again, thinking that he's walking on water. Okay? Captain and I talked about it last night. He was injured. You're of no use to me. 1 tackle, 1 TFL, 1 sack. Our only sack of the day, by the way. But let me go there. Stop talking about how Jacobs couldn't find any holes in the second half. I'm tired of hearing about that. I'm tired of seeing 30-yard. We need great players to step up in big games. Stop telling me about how there's no running room. Great players get theirs.
Like on the replacements, the movie Replacements. Winners want the ball.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Winners want the ball. The big playmakers are going to want the ball. They're going to make, like you said, make that play. That Jacobs run.
They're going to figure it out. They're going to figure it out.
To what you said yesterday on Captain's Show and
rewatch that Jacobs run. Back lanes. His running style. He's a good running back, but he doesn't have that vision of the great ones who see the holes that may only open up for a half a second.
Yeah,
they are through it. As a
even with 6 and 7 in the box. Okay. I mean, did not everybody not know that Joe Gibbs was going to give the ball to John Riggins? Okay.
Oh, they knew. They knew exactly.
Yeah. Did it help them to know it?
No.
Nope.
It didn't.
He got his. And yes, he did have the Hogs in front of him, but they still put 6 and 7 in the box. The Hogs is only 5. Okay. Somehow Riggins found daylight. The great Peyton. He didn't have such a great line. He always found daylight. If you see film of O.J. Simpson, they hesitate, they look, and then they decide. That's what makes them great. Jacobs consistently needs a hole.
Yeah, that's like
he's got an O-line that ain't never gonna give him a hole. Why do we have the 30-yard performances -2? He finally has gotten some room. He got 110 yards on Sunday. God bless him. And
63 of those on one play.
I mean, exactly. Take that play away, and what are we down? We're back to a 50-yard rushing game.
Exactly.
You see, great play.
And I watched that play.
Tell me just one more thing. Go
I
ahead.
watched that play. I rewatched that play after listening to you on Captain Show yesterday.
Did you
And
see
if you
it?
watch, they have a great view of that Jacobs run. And if you watch his head, all he's doing is looking one direction. He's not looking, he didn't hesitate. He knew that hole was going to be there. He saw that hole, took it, but his head, it almost looks fake because his helmet never moves.
I
Until he
know.
gets
It
back line,
never.
and then he but his helmet never, he's not looking. It's just, this is where I'm going. That's where I'm running.
That's it.
That hole better be there, because if it's not, then he's going to get tackled for 3 yards.
A loss. Or a loss.
That too.
Raider Savage, is this not what you have seen all season long before we finally got a little daylight? And Jacobs needs daylight, not a crease like the great ones need, but daylight.
Well, I know it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Well, I'm gonna say this because
You gotta go back and look at the film.
no, yeah. But I'm talking about and I'm going by what I see. We have a shaky offensive line. All right, we need a new center. I know that one for sure. We need a new center, someone who can control.
Have we known that for 12 games? Okay, it's time to adjust.
I've known that when they brought Andre James up to take over Rodney Hudson. I didn't like that move, and I know it was a Gruden move when he traded away Hudson.
No. Hudson has to be released. Let's get the story straight.
Hudson wanted to be traded.
Hudson has to be released.
Yeah,
him
with Jackson. That was during the Gruden second tier or the second term.
2.0.
Yes, but I know that there's a lot of plays where he, like, if he doesn't see a hole, I don't want to say he panics, but he kind of stutter steps, and then that time he loses, that's where that they all just come in and swallow him up instead of just forcing himself into a hole, like just forcing him forward. I was gonna say that's kind of like a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, but when we spent all that money for that backup running back from the Jets, the one that Jordan, I forgot his first name, but Lamont Jordan, I couldn't stand him. He wore that 34, kind of like the 24. You know, these numbers, you got to own up to that number.
We got iconic numbers.
He got iconic numbers, and he couldn't. He just kept getting swallowed up and behind the line of scrimmage. You know who took his place? Fargus.
Yeah,
Fargus is small little guy, small little number 20, small little guy.
Baby Huggy Bear.
Put his little nephew of Huggy Bear. He just put his head down. I thought that was his nephew.
That was his son.
Well,
Justin Fargus was
he has the Huggy Bear blood inside of him, and he just pimped his way in there. Like, he went in there, and he made his own holes and busted through.
There you go.
And he got in there. He wasn't the big guy. He wasn't like, he was a small, skinny legs, but he got in there out of heart, and he forced himself through there.
Vision.
Yeah.
Saw.
And what was Jacob so good at last year? It was the yards after contact. He'd get hit and be able to break the tackle. He had the most broken tackles of the league last year, and then go, because he had the vision of knowing once they hit him, he was already at that angle that they were sliding off. They weren't able, they were trying to arm tackle. And
yeah, but that was last year. This is this year. We needed him to step.
This year, the vision's not there.
We need guys like him to
the vision's
step
not there.
up and stop. What do you mean the vision's not there? You don't lose vision.
No,
That you never had it.
I don't know. We do lose vision.
Yeah, we do.
Well, see, I'm saying it's hard.
And I can't see so well, so but maybe he needs some contacts. Maybe he's wild thing from Major League, and he needs some contacts classes, and he can see those lanes again. I don't know. I agree, though. It's something. I really think it has a lot to do with this holdout. That's what I put it towards. He has not been wanting to run.
There you go, because he's not trying to get hurt, so he'll be a free agent next year.
Yes.
Goodbye. let me say this. There's another sacred cow I want to talk about, and I also want to talk about Davante Adams. And I'm going to tell you, when I say sacred cows, I mean people that Raider fans, as soon as you say anything bad about them, they take out their Highlander sword and want to cut your head off. End her now. And I can't understand why they aren't demanding excellence from our most talented player. Why did they get a pass? Okay? I counted it 7 games. First of all, Davante won 100-yard game this year. And we know why. I mean, we've had quarterback problems. The second part of that is, and he disappears in the second half. He comes out blazing. I mean, Raider Savage, come on, walk with me now. He comes out blazing in the first and second quarters, and then you don't see no more completions to him, nor targets. Why? Do they suddenly learn how to cover him in the second half? What's going on? I need guys like that to step up and help me win games. I need touchdowns, Davante. I need you to get separation in a time of the game where you're probably more tired, where there's more adjustment to your style and you're double covered. I mean, he needs some help from play design for sure.
That's true. I felt yesterday you were trying to call him Davante Adams, maybe a Randy Moss.
No, I don't know what's going on in his head. I will never say a pro player gave up. It's like I won't say Jacobs gave up. But that commitment to excellence that I'm looking for. Great players make big plays in big game. They don't talk about how I'm being held every play. And that's their excuse. And all the people who adore them make that excuse. I'm sorry, that's not good enough for me. You need to step up.
The difference between, and it's the reality, the difference between last year's team and this year's team, the offensive production, was the starting quarterback. Someone that can change plays on the line of scrimmage to put into a better play. And I feel like that's the one thing we're missing. That's the one thing McDaniels did not allow in the first half. Now we got a whole new playbook that they're building each week for Aiden O'Connell.
They're building it, though. They don't have it.
Yeah, you need an you heard me last night. You need an off-season workshops, mini camps to install your offense. So let's face it, they're still using McDaniels' play. This is the team that McDaniels built. And that's another thing that people just disconnect from. They don't understand this is somebody else's team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hardigree and Pierce are trying to run somebody else's team.
Yeah.
Seemingly, I agree with you. I've been saying the same thing throughout the season.
It's not the personnel that they started. That wouldn't be the personnel that they would stick with. And Pierce has already shown you that he'll send you packing. Too bad he can't send a Luminor, James Mumford. Can't send them packing.
I don't know. I kind of like Mumford,
and
though.
Brasillo, who really should have gone with McDaniels, but that's another story for another day. Maybe they couldn't.
I can't argue with that one there. No, but you know, it comes down to, like you said, players need to play. It's just flat out the players need to play. They need to
stop making excuses for them, Raider Nation. We expect excellence. I don't care. In the days of the legend,
those things, commitment to excellence.
Right. Biletnikoff and Branch, I'm sure they were held every daggone play.
Oh, that was a whole different era.
Punched in the face.
Branch got Branch against the Steelers. I always see that one clip where he gets upside down and they slam his head down to the frozen grass of Three River Stadium.
I'm sure they were dragging his arm, grabbing his jersey all the way down the field until he got separation, because we're talking about greatness here. Till he got separation, And I'm all those things that I hear now as excuses for why the sacred cows aren't stepping up in big games, and more importantly, in the second half of it. And by big games, I mean against contenders, not the New York Giants. It's contenders.
The NFL as a whole is filled with a whole lot of divas now. It's all about the money.
Jeez.
It's not about playing. It's not even about the championship. How many players do you see go to teams not to win a championship, but to get paid?
And to pose in the end zone after every play, even if they're losing, right? Gotta have that freeze frame picture, right? Make them look like clowns. And
the Heisman pose. Why can't we bring that back? I mean, now they're doing all this other shit. Let's bring back the Heisman. It's something that's football related.
No, see, I missed when Tim Brown made a touchdown. You just spike it, and that was it.
They walked off the field.
That was it.
You've been there before. That's what it used to be. Act like you've been there before.
But now we got TikTok and Instagram. You have to get on there, and you have to have 5,000 likes, right?
Yeah.
To have Q values, so you can now be, eligible for commercials and other opportunities.
And I think that is the problem. And I'm going to say this, even though we're on social media, YouTube, Facebook.
I know.
But social media is the problem, because you have a lot of people who, I'm not going to question their fandom, but I can't question their knowledge. You have a lot of people that AP lost 2 games, knew this, knew that. And it's like, okay. Tell me why. Give me a thought out, like you said. You understand that this is not AP's team from the start of the football
season.
This football year in April. This is AP's team starting week 6. Oh no, week 8, whatever it was.
He's only been coached for 3 weeks. We've only been an offensive coordinator going into their 4th week. And of course, O'Connell's only been the starting quarterback. Do you think O'Connell, in any corner of his mind in August, thought he was going to start on Josh McDaniels' team?
No, and even though he played
at number 3,
even though he
with the third stringers and everything else, he knew where he was sitting.
And I know, even though he was throwing 3s and 4s, he outplayed Brian. What's his name? Brian. I keep saying his name wrong. Brian Hoyer. And but
get it right. Come on.
But that's why I say it's hard to talk. It's hard to with this version of the Raiders, because of how McDaniels seemed like, the way the news is coming out, he didn't let the players be players. You're going to do what I say because I want to be the one that says I'm the smart one. I made this put together. I'm the one that did this and that. When we all kind of now see it's not the Patriot way. It was the Tom Brady way, because the Patriots suck after he left. McDaniels can't do anything outside of the Patriots with Tom Brady. He ran down the Broncos. His offensive play calling with the Rams for that 1 year, they dipped. They with the Raiders, they were in the playoffs the year before, and then they're just losing 20-point games. They're losing 17-point leads. They're losing double-digit leads. They're losing.
We got shut out by the Saints last year.
Yep.
That should have been the big. We hadn't had a shutout as bad as our teams have been. Okay, over the last 20 years, we still hadn't had a shutout in more than 6 years before that happened. So, I mean, there's a lot of things, but one thing that doesn't help is this fantasy version of what players are supposed to be doing, what coaches are supposed to be doing. It's not helping your view of what's going on in these games. And you see them after the game, they're all depressed. He shouldn't have made that 4th down decision. They're all telling you what he could have done different to win the game. The Raiders were never going to beat the Chiefs, and they're never going to beat any contenders because it's Josh McDaniels' team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're like, people like us are watching the game, like we said in the beginning, we're watching the game to see if there's improvements.
There you go.
That's all we're looking for. Are we growing? Are we improving? The play calling. I like that 4th-and-1 play call. I like to go for it. I just don't like the fact that I don't like the fact that we pitched it to Jacobs 7 yards behind the damn line.
But he follows his blockers instead of looking to see where the cutback lane was there.
Or
because
why
the
don't we
whole line had gone one day.
We could quarterback sneak. We could even quarterback sneak or bring him up close. You know, bring in your fullback. Well, we did bring him back, so we do have a fullback. Bring in the fullback.
Practice squad.
I forgot about, and go and get it to his 3 yards back. He doesn't need a 7-yard running start to break through that 1 yard line.
Yeah,
he's a good running back.
But Hardigree will get better with this as he learns what his people can and can't do, and as he starts
his own plays.
But
that's what it is. He's not getting to implement his own plays.
But the bottom line is, guys like Jacobs and Adams have to step up. I am sorry.
I agree.
But this is 13 games into the season. We've heard all the excuses about why they can't do this, why they don't do that, why they disappear. Jacoby Myers didn't disappear in the Kansas City game. Matter of fact, he had 2 spectacular catches. Too bad there was no continuity on the drive because others could not be found. Okay? Other receivers.
Jacoby blocks. He gets in there and blocks. He gets in down dirt. Jacoby's the number 1 receiver on the team as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. He is.
He's number 1.
But that shouldn't be, is it? Should it?
No, it shouldn't be. No, you're right. It should be. It should be.
That wasn't the plan, was it?
He was supposed to be the complimentary, the number 2. The number 2 for Adams, yeah.
You saw on that run play that he had that he got tripped up on. He's pounding the field because he knew, he had it. He was pissed.
He's been playing with heart all season long. He's the only one Garoppolo could find, okay, when he did have time to throw. And I found that amazing. I said, well, wait a minute. Don't we have a $50 million receiver? I mean, don't we have, the top, one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL? Why can't he be found?
People
need to start asking about that. I'm not saying Devontae is not putting forth his best. It just ain't good enough. Whatever he's doing, it ain't good enough. It's not excellence.
Everything you're saying, Peggy, I'm starting to think like back in the day, and you're right, because who was the one receiver in Raider history, in recent Raider history, that had almost a quarterback every year, a different quarterback every year, a different coach every year? Tim Brown, he had 1,000-yard just about 1,000 yards every year, every single year, and he had James Jett as his second receiver, and even when they had Jerry Rice and Jerry Porter, he still had his 1,000 yards. He still had his catches.
I mean, what is going on? Have we lowered our standards now? A top receiver is one that catches the ball when it's easy, or when the quarterback throws it, the perfect arced rainbow into his hands while he's in a running. No. Sometimes you have to sit and wait for the ball to come down. Sometimes you have to. I watched Tim Brown, who had 11 quarterbacks, by the way. And you didn't hear Tim Brown talking about, my quarterback's a bum. That's why. Did you ever hear Tim Brown say that? And he had serious bums, by the way.
I heard Tim Brown criticize James Jett, saying all he cares about is his stats. Mm-hmm. I remember that in the newspaper. And then the next year, James Jett got replaced by Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are things that we need to think about when we're wondering why we're losing to contenders. It's because the contenders, good players, step up and make plays. We only need 1 or 2, Devontae. We just just need 1 or 2 a game. How about getting that second 100-yard game of 13 games in? I mean, and yes, you got a young boy as a quarterback, and quite frankly, he had an okay game.
He played fairly well. No turnovers.
Right, and he was only sacked once.
Only sacked once.
He had a higher QBR than Mahomes.
He had the highest this past week.
Any quarterback for the week.
Right.
He was the top when it comes to that. And QBRs, that's a, here or there on the thing. But the thing is, he's getting his reads down. He's getting his progressions down.
He
overthrew
a few better.
It happens.
Improving. It's
improving. Keyword we said in the beginning. It's improvement. He's getting his reads. He's getting the ball out faster. He's not holding it as long as many times. And usually when he's holding it long now in this game, it was because it was a coverage and he had nobody to go to.
There's always a coverage issue when you're playing the Kansas City Chiefs and crying out loud. Any contending team, they've got talent on their side of the ball.
Yes.
And they've got Steve Spagnuolo, who can adjust a defense on a dime.
Like okay. He can do it in 3 plays.
So now it's time for you to adjust. Adjust to their adjustment. It's a chess game. It's always a chess game. That's what this game is about.
Yeah.
You have 2 plays ahead. 2 plays ahead.
That's right. Ahead. So I want Raider fans to stop talking about sacred cows. And while we're at it, Crosby, let's go on back to Crosby and that pass rush. Crosby was so slow off the ball and sometimes limping visibly that they had to slide the DT over Nichols to help him on his edge. I've never seen that done before. But they could see that he was getting overwhelmed by the tackle.
Yeah.
Just one guy. And that's what I mean. Max, you didn't help me by playing. You had a bye week coming up. Why not take 2 weeks of rest? The world will not end if you don't start a game. And Pierce should have stopped that madness. Okay? That's where I'm looking at Pierce to start making different decisions. Stop having favorites. Stop with the sacred cows, the holy ones that can't be touched. They tell you whether they're going to play. What? What? Go out there and hurt the team.
A good coach knows when to protect a player from himself.
Exactly.
And that was the situation. Maybe you start him and you see he's not being effective and pull him out earlier in the game. I can't argue with that. Right. I can't argue with that. You're not being effective. He didn't have his spin move. I saw it in there.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was, and I felt for him. And like I said last night, Max, I'm really looking out for your future. How many, when I see Jim Otto in a wheelchair, that reminds me of
an amputation. He lost a leg.
Right. Because the toll that playing through injury takes on an NFL player. By the time you're 50, you walk around on a cane. You need to look out for your future, Max. If you're going to be a great player that you aspire to be, you have to be healthy. That knee could be permanently damaged by playing on it when you didn't have to.
I was talking to Savage about that earlier in the week. I'd rather him sit. I'd rather him go have his operation that he needs to have now and sit the rest of the season so we have him next season.
Exactly.
Instead of him doing something, injuring it, and now that knee is not right, and now he can't do those spin moves anymore or put the press, the bull rush because, every time he plants that knee in and goes, it starts to buckle. I got knee problems. I know what it's like. I've had buckle just from walking.
That's I'm not making an excuse, but that's the mentality, the mental, like football. Like I don't know if that in his mind that defines him, but some players, football defines me. This is all this is what makes me me. I have to be out there. I can't not be out there. If I get surgery early, I'm quitting on my team. If I take myself out, if I can walk, I can play. If and some have that mentality that like when I think you, Asylum, you said Max had said, you need to drag me off that field dead for me to not be on that field.
He said I have to be dead in order not to play.
Well,
And that's where the coach. That's where the coach comes in and protects the player from himself. No,
but the other part of that is that sea of worship that has surrounded Max from the very beginning. Don't tell me that this isn't ego-based as well.
Yeah.
You get to thinking that you're inexpendable, that the team can't do without you. And what did you say to me, Asylum? What's the Raider code? No one.
No one's bigger than the Shield. And I mean, and we've had that. We've had players and coaches traded based off of that statement alone. Is no one player is bigger than the Shield.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot let him dictate how you're going to play. True, we didn't have anybody really good to replace him, but hey, you're working with what you got. I mean, you whiffed on a generational defensive tackle because, and I'm going to say the word pussies, un-Raider-like pussy action. When have we not been a franchise that gives second chances? We got Alzado, who was called a problem child.
We made a name.
Steroid taking problem child. And we put him in and we made him a Raider.
Matuzak?
Romanowski.
Romanowski, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about problem children. We are the franchise that used to be able to put them in our culture and make them work for us. And now, and that was McDaniel's biggest problem. Number one, he wasn't Raider, but number two, he ain't got no heart. And none of the New Englanders got heart. When I go down the roll call of how many of them came out and tried to coach somewhere else, start with Crennel, right?
Yeah.
Charlie Weiss, the whole tree. And I'm going to throw Vrabel in there too. Even though he was a player, he still came up in the New England system. What else does he know? Okay? So I'm just saying that we have to look at where our deficiencies are, and we have to be realistic about our squad, and we have to say, I'd just like to be pleasantly surprised. How about that, Raider Savage and Silent?
I just want to be in the game. I don't mind losing. I don't mind losing a game if we're in the game. If it's a good game, close game.
Miami was a great game. Yeah. Miami was absolutely
a great game.
The best game that they played.
And
I could take that loss. Sorry, but I could take that loss because we made mistakes. Yes, could we have won that game? Yes, but you know what? We lost to the better team.
And
we not get blown out. There was no 70 to.
I know. I know that. We blew out the Giants in AP's first game. We were in a defensive battle with the Jets. The reason why I'm proud first of those two games is a lot of times we have like a better talented team, but we some reason we play down to lower teams. You'll see us
missing talent in so many areas. It ain't funny. And let's start with the trenches. Yeah, offensive and defensive line. We are so below the league in talent on those two lines. It's just incredible that we've done as well as we have.
Yeah. We've had, like I said, what I was saying is that we've had like more talented teams, and for some reason, I don't know what it is or whatever it is. Coaching. We would play down to talent. We would play down. We would lose games to teams where you're thinking we should destroy this team out their own stadium, and we're barely getting by in the fourth quarter, trying to squeak out like the wins we got earlier before AP took over the Denver game, and I know that was the first game of the season. But it's like we barely went squeak by that. We barely squeaked by the Patriot game.
Exactly.
We barely squeaked out of the Green Bay game.
Green Bay is the other place, and this is something. But we won those games.
Yeah.
We still won. We were losing those games under Gruden and Del Rio. Okay, we were losing, and Allen, of course, Dennis Allen, who's down there in New Orleans effing it up. But I'm just saying that it still gets down to individual players stepping up, especially our most talented ones. Since the rest of them around them ain't that good, they have to step up and they have to make the plays that are necessary so that those losses aren't by the hair of our chin. Okay?
Step up like Diablo, like Spillane, like Amik Robertson.
Spillane has been doing that. He is the player, not Crosby, that I think has been the best player on this defense. I mean,
I can't argue with that.
He brought linebacking back to the Raiders.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Because, of course, we had none for 20 years.
Exactly. Me and Savage has talked about that. Spillane is, and Diablo stepping up. Diablo's had a good year this year.
If he can stay healthy.
Yeah, well, if he can stay healthy. He has to do sometimes makes it hard, but Diablo needs to stay healthy. But when healthy, he's played well. Amik Robertson, when he finally got a chance to come into the game, he stepped up and showed that growth. And so he played better than Peters, and he played less games than Peters.
And Morick. I mean, we've seen improvement definitely in Morick. I mean, Epps is serviceable, but again, the level of talent is still far below the Kansas City's and Miami's of the world. Yeah. We've got to understand that.
Even the Jets. I mean, the Jets got a good defense. I'll say that much.
They have a platinum defense. Of course, they wore down by the NFL's worst quarterback. I mean, that truly is a situation, the only situation in the NFL where a good quarterback would have made a hell of a difference.
A decent quarterback.
I mean, there's just no way Zach Wilson even belongs in the pros. And I couldn't understand, and Saleh may lose his job over this, although he's trying to blame the GM for the strategy of not going out and get a veteran as soon as that Rodgers went down. Game 1, they could have saved the season. Now it's game 12, too late.
They could have got Dobbs.
They could have got Dobbs. I mean, Peggy was.
Well, Dobbs was already committed with the Cardinals at that time.
At that point, right? Peggy brought up names yesterday on Captain's Show.
I mean, Matt Ryan is not working.
No, but one of those names you said actually had called the Jets and told them, I'm willing to play for you guys, and they ignored the phone call. He called the Jets and said, I'm ready. I'll play. I can't remember what name it was. I'm pissing me off now. We go back to Captain's comments. I said it in there. He called the Jets and said, I'm ready to play. And the Jets ignored it.
Well, this is why the Jets, of course, haven't won a Super Bowl since 1968. I mean, it's an organizational issue. Their quarterback selections. I mean, are you not giving IQ tests? They've had like 3 bad quarterback selections. They had a quarterback. I want to say Pennington, but I want to go back even further to Ken O'Brien. And that was the 80s, okay?
Mark Sanchez until he got the butt fumble.
He was doing good, and then something just fell apart in his head. But we all knew he was an accident waiting to happen. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, Rex
Ryan. Sideline. I mean, come on.
But I'm just saying, when you look at the Jets, position for position on defense, I mean, you're talking about some of the top athletes in the NFL. You really, really are. They don't even have to try hard to shut you down. I'm just saying we need some of that dap on us. Now, I don't know what the Raiders are going to do. I don't know what Mark's going to do. I mean, and I'm over my time.
That's $1 million question right now is what, who gets what job?
Yeah,
what's going to happen,
gentlemen? I mean,
depending on who gets the
territory,
a lot of things for the future.
Mm-hmm. I say keep AP because if you go whole new coach, you're still gonna have a whole learning curve and everything, a new system and this and that, and the cycle continues and all that. And I say just stick with it, see what happens.
We keep some continuity.
You gotta upgrade the trenches. You gotta do something about the trenches.
We need a center.
We need Chris Jones. We need a beast. We need a beast.
Right tackle. Defensive tackle. I agree. The trenches.
Not any defensive tackle. Not these rent DTs that we've been bringing in every year. I mean, from Hurts. We need a guy who defines the ferociousness, the aggressiveness, the Ben Davidson, the Ted Hendricks, even though he was a linebacker. I mean, we still need that caliber on our defense. Our defense is what made Plunkett and Stabler so savage, and all the offense so savage.
Because they believed in him. They knew if they made a mistake, the defense would do their job, get him the ball back, and they could go from there.
And smack somebody in the mouth while they do it.
Like Reagan Upshaw. See, in my era, Reagan Upshaw, Sam Adams for like 2 years, John Perella for like a couple years, Darrell Russell, for Darrell Russell, Russell Maryland, McLaughlin before he went to the Chiefs. Like, we have big guys that will stuff the line, will push the center back, push the lineman into the quarterback.
There you go. That's what you need to happen. If somebody is collapsing the pocket, the quarterback has no choice but to do what? Run out of the pocket, right into the waiting arms of our DEs. That's the role of DEs. They aren't the pass rush. The DTs are. Yeah,
the defensive ends are the containments. They're the containments. They're supposed to contain that edge and make sure no one comes out from that edge. But, ever since LT, that's when the DNs have been glorified. And then, Lawrence Taylor, when he shattered, I'm forgetting the Redskins quarterback,
Theismann. And oh, by the way, Lawrence was another problem child. Okay, I mean, he was managed.
He liked that candy a little too much.
Yeah, but he was managed. Sometimes when you get a wild stallion, and that's what I compared Jalen Carter to. I mean, yeah, he's going to be tough to coach. Stop being. That's why I'm just so happy to see McDaniel go and Ziegler go. I mean, that was just so un-Raider-like to skip over that guy. Although Mayock probably might have skipped him, and I know Reggie McKenzie would have skipped him because Reggie only looking for guys that are hurt, right? He's looking for project.
Project guys.
And I can say it on this show. We call Reggie the project hoe. And because if you weren't injured or had an injury during college, chances are you wasn't going to be picked in the first and second round, okay? And I mean, that's just the only 1 year he had was 2014, right? When he picked Mac. And that was a no-brainer. That was just blueprinted for him. I'm not saying Reggie isn't good, and I'm sure he's much better now. He's down in Miami, right? But I'm just saying, yeah, he's been in Miami for a little while now. If he's still there, I don't know. I haven't checked this year, but I know he went down to Miami. But the whole point is that we Raider fans don't know talent because our franchise doesn't understand talent. They're pushing off the Bilal Nichols and the Tilleries of the world and telling them, here's your DTs, not knowing that these guys are like PFFs in the 60s and below in terms of talent.
Because they're always looking for good character guys who are going to be good characters, not going to cause, get flagged or
cause problems off the off field or do this.
Get penalty.
Yeah, like you said, the penalties or you know,
and
grab
that's what
that mask
and
every once in a while and just, you know, put the quarterback down. Oh, I mean, sorry, wrong.
and for all the the high profile or the overpaid guys that Al Davis got, he also still got like those gritty players that didn't really make a name for themselves outside of the Raiders. We remember them because we remember them making plays, and I think we lost that because Mark Davis is more
No.
businessman.
Don't rewrite history. Don't do that to me. The Raiders lost 100 games between 2003 and 2011. Mark inherited a franchise that was circling the drain. The only crime of Mark Davis is he ain't done nothing to improve it. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's not rewrite history. From the time that our beloved Al traded Gruden to the Bucs, we were on a steady descent into hell. And don't tell me that Mark messed the Raiders up. No.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
I'm just wanting to make sure the historic record. We lost 100 games between 2003. We used to all get together, right? Get our thing, get on the planes and go to different places between 2003 and 2011, knowing full well the Raiders was going to lose. I mean, we already knew that before we walked into the stadium. We was just team no.
Hoping that it was different. We hoped it was different.
No, we knew it wasn't going to be different. We already knew there was going to be no difference.
But we hope that, you know, we hope that that any given Sunday was true. That's what we hope for walking into the stadium. Any given Sunday. I was a season ticket holder for 17 years. During the Jamarcus Russell years, all that. You know, I flew to London to go watch them play that Miami game.
The one they left Dennis Allen behind?
He had to find his own flight home. I was in London for that game. I paid a lot of money to go watch that game.
No, we have to make sure that we have our history right. Mark Davis's first crime was moving the Raiders from Oakland. Half the fan base, they can't hide it very well. They will never forgive him for that. Never, ever, ever. They will go to their graves, never forgiving him for that. But his second mistake is he hasn't made good decisions. Head coach.
He's relying too much on everybody else's opinion that's in his ear, and now from what I heard,
good article that he just came out about that, saying that, and now he's saying hopefully Mark's only, you know, he's had too many people in his ear, listening to too many other people instead of going with his gut, doing this, doing that.
You know who is his two devil and angel that's talking to him now? Tom Brady and Jim Gray.
Yep.
That's his two devil and angel right there. That's his two consciences right there, telling him what to do. A patriot and a writer.
A writer, yeah.
Yeah.
A columnist.
He gonna learn $100 million in head coaching salaries later. Maybe the lesson. But as I tell everybody, it's no use talking about the owner, talking about sell the team. The most ridiculous thing. Why would he sell his parents' team? That's his. It belongs to him. And it will always belong to him until the NFL says it doesn't. So now we want to talk about his judgment, his decision making. You just said it, Savage. Who is he listening? I mean, Tom Brady wasn't always around. Who was he listening to when he hired 3 blind mice, right? Hired McKenzie and Allen. He wasn't listening to Tom Brady then. Neither one of them. All 3 of them. New owner, new GM, new head coach. You had to know that was Stevie Wonder action. Okay? I mean, where was that going to go? He wasn't listening to Tom Brady then. He wasn't listening to Tom Brady when he went out and got that fraud, Jack Del Rio, who everybody thinks that's one of the best rated coaches we ever had. He's a total con man. I mean, he will make you believe that he's.
I think McDaniels beats him as far as con man, though. Honestly, McDaniels.
Total.
Yeah.
I mean, this is McDaniels is pathological. I mean, there's something.
He conned the whole NFL. Okay,
Yeah,
McDaniels.
I
He's
mean,
the biggest con man.
but even Gruden 2.0, Gruden was conning Mark as well by getting that 10-year security blanket. I don't have to turn him around early. I can wait 4 or 5 years, and I still got time.
That's the one thing I like what Al Davis did. You got 2 years. Prove it. Gotta go. Let's go again. 2 years. Prove it.
But that strategy didn't work either for Al.
Not
the later years. Not the last 10 years. No.
That didn't work. That last-minute championship. Paid money for players that were well past their prime, and
the contracts. Of course, I thought that you could have brought in a Big Five accounting firm to straighten out the contracts and some lawyers, but they do credit McKinsey for straightening it out. That's about all McKinsey did.
He was a good accountant.
I mean,
that's what he did.
You could have brought in Arthur Anderson. Oh, excuse me, Arthur's gone. So you Price Waterhouse. You could have brought them in to fix your contract mess. We needed a guy that knew talent and could draft talent. And then, of course,
that's been our biggest problem is drafting the talent. That's been our biggest problem.
We just have had such horrible.
Are you saying Leatherwood wasn't a good number 1 pick?
Listen, they all have had strikeouts. I mean, Al had his most famous one, which was Jamarcus.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have made huge errors. And by the way, 20 years earlier, no way Al picks Jamarcus. Al was so desperate to do something to make his franchise better.
They said the story behind him picking Jamarcus Russell. He thought that God, why do I keep forgetting names? The GM, ex-Raider linebacker, GM for the Lions. Why am I forgetting his name? Matt Millen. Matt Millen. When Matt Millen was the Lions GM, because Raiders had number 1, Lions had number 2 overall pick. It was Jamarcus Russell, Calvin Johnson. Matt Millen called Al Davis because they had did that little interview, whatever, with Jamarcus, that pre-draft interview, and they called Al Davis. He said, "Hey Al, look, okay, out of respect, I'm telling you right now, do not pick this guy. He's not smart. Football is not his main concern. Do not pick him." And Matt Millen had said he thought maybe Al Davis took that as a reverse psychology kind of thing. So instead of taking Calvin Johnson, he took Jamarcus Russell, thinking, "Oh, he's trying to get an edge on me, so I'm going to pick him anyways." And Al kind of got in his own way with that one.
But didn't that make Al the greatest GM in NFL history? The fact that he was a Maverick, that he went against the grain.
Yeah.
They told him, don't get Ted Hendricks from Green Bay. He's a troublemaker. He went and got him. They told him to don't go get Willie Brown from Denver. He's all washed up. I mean, leave Plunkett alone.
Don't get the Tuzak from
and that's
Plunkett alone. He's a Heisman Trophy bust. He bombs out in San Francisco, and of course, everybody was saying, leave Plunkett on the table. They told him Stabler was a one-trick pony. Okay,
and that's why I don't fault Al Davis, because in his mind he's probably thinking, I've done this before. I got 3 rings. I've done this before. I know what I'm doing. But I think also he knew he was sick, so he was trying to hurry up and, okay, just get this guy, pay. Let's just put it together. We can put it together, but it's just no matter the talent or the whatever.
And gentlemen, I'm just going to end up with one because I've got to go now. People are knocking at my door. I'm going to tell you a story. 2008, we were in Baltimore, and we always made a tradition of cheering the Raider bus as they drove up to the Marriott Hotel, right? And I was sitting out smoking a cigarette, and suddenly in the side carport, this huge stretch limo drives up. It's Al Davis. I said, Al, my people are in the lobby cheering your guys. He says, I'm going to go in and talk to them. I'm like, what? He went in, and I waited a little while, finished my cigarette, came in. Al Davis was saying to all the fans that were in the lobby of the Marriott, and people were there, they will tell you this story. Al said, we're going to turn this around. We're going to get better. I'm going to stay up day and night. So what you said about Al being desperate to do something to make the Raiders right, it's totally believable. I never will forget it. It is in Baltimore. Gentlemen, it's been lovely. I hope you will have me back one day.
I hope you want to come back. This was great. We loved having you.
We made a graphic for you so you can come back.
And of course, I will be hard-hitting and controversial. And I saw a meme today that said, and that's why only 3 people like you.
Hey, at least you got 3. I only got 2.
No.
Hey, Al Davis said, I'd rather be feared than respected.
Exactly. Because I'm going to open my mouth and say it. But it's been great. I got to run. I will talk to you at another time in the asylum. We will get together. And Savage, is so great to be on air with you.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you coming on.
All
as
right.
our first, Captain will come on here and there, but as our first special guest. Sorry, Captain, we don't mean it that way, but as our first special guest, and we appreciate it.
All right, I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah, she came out flurry.
Yeah, she came out firing.
Oh, there you go. Hey, whatever, machine gun. She was punching. I was trying to get in. I was like, hey.
Look, she came out firing. She held no punches. It ain't all fit.
Yeah.
Like I said, she knows her shit.
Oh yeah, no, she came hard. I wasn't expecting it. I was like, oh, I got a little dazed right there.
She has that effect. You have a plan, like I said. That's why I was studying. You have a plan, and she come in and hit you in the mouth. You're like, oh fuck, that plan's not gonna work.
Yeah. I wasn't ready. I'll admit that I was not ready.
I told you I was preparing for my toe-to-toe with her. I was preparing. I was ready. I was ready to get knocked the fuck out if I had to. But you know what? Fucking Raiders had to change the script.
Well,
so we called it audible. It was a good audible. I want to thank Peggy again. I'm glad she wants to come back on. We'll definitely talk. I can't wait to she might end up being our first cage match eventually, anyways, because you know what, it'll be worth it.
Yeah, I gotta study more. Every time, like I'm trying to comment back, and then she hit you with another hard fact. Like, okay. Hold on. Time out. No mas.
When's the bell going to ring? I need that intermission. I need the intermission.
It's like a Little Giants when the kids run around the referee. Blow the whistle. And then you hear the Yeah, we want to thank Peggy Holmes for coming on to the show. That was a fast hour. I wasn't ready.
It was. And the fact that she stayed on, I was watching the time, and she stayed on a little longer. That was good. I can't wait to have her on again. I'm honest to God on that one.
How are we supposed to follow that? Let's go into the comments.
Go to the comments. Yeah, we kind of skipped the comments in a lot of this because we didn't have a chance, really.
Yes. We want to shout out to my sister. She was trying to correct me. Bobby Hoyer, okay? It's not Brian, it's Bobby. That boy ain't right. That boy ain't right. And Rick has been in the chat. Rick has been a valued
chat
yes
person for the last about fucking 4 or 5 shows.
Rick is our number one fan. We need to make t-shirts. We need to make merchandise so we can send that to Rick.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we need to work on that. We need to work on that. I agree.
We're a new show. We're trying to get sponsored. Anybody out there? We'll get sponsored by anybody. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what? We should get sponsored by State Farm.
Fuck you. As long as I don't got to deal with my homes and fucking my autos, I'm okay.
Hey, I do a commercial with them. Knock them out. Let's go test. Let's test how your insurance does actually work. Okay. And look at Rick is working in his office and watching this. Rick is our number one fan right there. We appreciate it, Rick.
Last week he said he had to go because he was working. Yeah, we appreciate. It's actually been what, as we said last week, what we've been hoping for. People we listen to us at work, whether it's the day after, later on in the week, or while it's going on. So, you're actually making our dreams come true with this, just a little bit.
Well, Rick said he had to go because he was working, but then he was still interacting in the show. So now that's dedication. That's Max Crosby dedication right there.
Okay. He's the Max Crosby of our fans right now.
He's the Max Crosby of our fans. It doesn't matter what's going on. He shows up on the field. He shows up in the comments.
I hope this statement's true, Rick. I hope this statement's true.
Hey, he's live. He's live too. Okay. Here we go. And
here we go.
The man himself. I came, I saw, and I liked. We love it.
I hope we were able to go toe to toe with her, Cap. I hope we were able to keep up with her because you know what? She stole the show. She definitely stole the show.
Yes. I wasn't ready. I didn't prepare, Captain. I didn't prepare. I did watch your show last night, Captain, too. I was able to watch the first half hour of it. I had to watch I watched the first half hour of it before I had to go into my parental duties. But yeah, Captain, you missed a 12 round heavyweight fight. There were punches. There were I think you know what? I think I'm concussion protocol right now because that's how it was.
Oh, she let loose. She let loose with both hands.
Yeah, my sister says I was recalculating. Yeah.
Rebooting. You did the window thing.
The wheel of the circle of death is on my forehead right now. All right.
Yeah, Captain, she can only be on for an hour, and it was the first hour, so we had to make sure she was on early. Same situation as you. Had to be on early. You were probably still doing your other show when she came on.
We were anticipating kind of like in a fireworks show. She was gonna be the finale, just whatever. I don't know how do we follow that?
We just continue going. We just do what we do.
All right, well then.
Cap, but you know what? That just means you just when it's over, rewatch the show, see the beginning, and you'll see Peggy probably kick our ass.
Yeah, it was. So, anyways, yeah. I'm trying to get the show. So we lose.
Trying to get back on track. We got derailed. We derailed this train. That's what she did.
We lost to the Chiefs. We all saw it. We all seen. We jumped ahead with a 14-0. We were our defense looked good. We were getting behind the line of scrimmage. We were stopping Pacheco. There was one run where he got spun around and then he ended up losing like another 2 more yards. So
we managed to contain Mahomes. At that point, early on, it looked like we were starting to frustrate him a little bit. It did. The important thing, though, that happened in that first half, which we did not do well in the second half, is we kept Mahomes off the field. We had those long drives. I never played shit like that. We were keeping Mahomes off the field so him and Kelsey couldn't beat us.
Yeah.
You know, we were doing that, and then we started to stall out. We weren't able to do shit, give him Mahomes time on the field. And, you know, when that happens, the end result is generally a loss.
Yeah, and you know, the one thing I just realized is I forgot. Just give me 2 seconds. But yeah.
One,
Um
two.
wait.
No, you said 2 seconds. I gave you your 2 seconds. All right.
Yeah, but
One
the play clock,
two Mississippi.
the play clock did not start yet. I'm waiting for the TV timeout. And okay, I'm ready. All right, I'm ready. Here we go. We're stats. All right, here we go. We're here. We're back. I didn't change the. Okay, the Chiefs are not 5-6. I wish they were. They're like 7 and something. I don't know, 8 and something. So, whatever. Okay, I wish the Chiefs were 5-6. That's wrong. I'm gonna say that. That's me. I'm taking accountability. Unlike McDaniels, who I'm gonna blame it on my phone where I do all the editing. But anyways, disregard the 5-6. I wish they were, but they're not.
Put your thumb over it, and
Yeah.
it's not there.
It's not there. Can we cover it? No, we can't cover it. Anyways, as you can see the stats, we were
Right there.
very.
I covered it.
There you go. Rick right there. Thank you, Rick. See, even though Rick, he's not on the show, he's on the show, and he's helping us out with his comments. Here we go. Just wait until we have a real OC with the real playbook and a real. Oh, yeah, we need anything O-line. We need.
Yeah.
But as you see the stats right here, look at that. Total yards, we were right there with the Chiefs. Passing yards, we were right there. We were more than the Chiefs. Rushing, well, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
I mean, we had a clean game.
We had more first downs. More first down, you know, third down efficiency, we were better. Fourth down, not so much. Actually, I think that's wrong because we were 0-1 because we did have a fourth down that didn't work.
Wait, hold on. Did I put the wrong one up here?
Did you
know
go
what?
backwards?
You know what? Here, let's take this off. You know what? Let's just talk about it. I got caught up in Peggy. That this is on me. This is on me. I'm gonna take the you know, we win as a team and we lose as a team, but this is on me. I'm the one that put the wrong stats probably. So you know, we're in a bye week, so we can put everything back together. So
you can fix it next week. You can fix it next week.
Yes. But basically, yeah, we were right there, and then we had more rushing yards. I remember that one. So
yeah, Jacobs had a 110 by himself.
Yes, Elise. I wish I need that John Madden teleprompter pen where I can just draw circles and lines and mustaches.
And, you know, you know, when water hits dirt, it turns into mud.
Yes. That's hey. That's how we've been writing our plays lately, okay? We're trying to put a playbook together. Hey, Devontae, run to the Honda and then cut in. Jacoby, run to the telephone pole and then swing around. Telestrator, teleprompter. Yeah. See? I'm telling you, Captain, I'm in concussion protocol. I should be in the blue tent right now, but I'm trying to push through. They haven't took the helmet away yet.
They're bad back, so you know.
Telestrator. I said teleprompter. That's the thing you read. Telestrator is the thing you write with. Yeah, that's on me, Captain. On my bad. You know what? I need a timeout. Can't asylum. See, I almost did. I almost asylum. Let's do your insane playmakers. Let's just go into that. I need a break.
Asylum's insane playmakers.
Oh wait, I got to put the music. See, gotta put the music. Here we go. Go ahead.
Okay, well, we got 4 of them this week. I know we usually do 3, but you know, I always invoke the Raider rule number 1. Cheating is encouraged, so I have a 4th, or if you want to call it honorable mention, whatever, but we're going to start off with
Antonio, I know Marcus got pulled out of the game. And there were some things going on the sidelines. Can you just talk about that? Was there an injury, or was it just a coach's decision to take him out of the game?
Just coach's decision.
Tell on the coach's decision on Marcus Peters.
And then Marcus Peters was just a coaching decision. Cool. Thank you, guys.
We're starting off with the benching, which later on leads to the waiving of Marcus Peters. We have been calling Peters out since, week 3 against the Steelers?
Oh, yeah.
And, we had a segment last week, You Are Garbage, who he was the prime focus on. So,
Nothing but garbage.
The fact that the coach was willing to pull him and go with, Jack Jones?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Jack Jones.
Jack Jones, look, there's his Olay that got him benched. Here we go, close up, right? Whoa, I got him. No, I don't. Anyways, the fact that you got, a coach wanted to do that, why do you even talk to him? And he had the "what the fuck you say" moment, which is coming up right here. So, I'm giving it, that's definitely there. I'm loving it. That was insane coaching calls.
By himself.
Huh?
He's standing there by himself, all his lonesome.
By himself. Interim head coach, they generally don't do moves like that. The ball's on AP. I got to give it to him. I'm loving it.
And, Hondo Carpenter, which I wish we can get him on the show. Hondo had said that, which is not, it hasn't been seen like on video or anything, but he threw a whole temper tantrum when he got benched, where he threw his gloves and his helmet, which is probably was like that straw that broke the camel's back. You're gone. Gotta go.
You're gone.
Peace out, Peters. Say hi to McDaniels for me.
As Cap says right here. Bye, Felicia.
Exactly.
All right, so going on to what would be number 3. Here we go. Sorry. Number 3, it's more than just the Jacoby TD. He also had the deep pass, but Jacoby, we talked about it with Miss Peggy. Jacoby's just been balling out. Jacoby fucking has been playing, he's technically, as of right now, as far as I'm concerned, I'll call it, I'll say it. I don't care if fucking the Raiders hear me. He's our number 1 receiver. He's above Devontae Adams as of right now. He's doing everything from blocking to catching to doing what it takes to try to win the game. Getting pissed off when he gets, and it wasn't even his fault. He got tackled and was pissed off because he knew he should have had more. So, Jacoby, number 3.
What, number 2? And then number
3.
And then we go, then we do insane bonus. So.
Yeah, that was the coaching decision.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, well, you got it. Whatever. Okay, number 2. So we're going to Jacobs here. This 63-yard run, about fucking time. But it was insane. Against that defense, nobody was even going to touch him. He didn't even have to stiff arm. He just tapped him on the fucking forehead as he ran by. He said, "Gandhi loves you," back from the high school days.
Gandhi loves you, Pink. There's the gap that Peggy was talking about.
But if you, there's a beautiful aerial view of this. Of this run. If you guys can watch it, but you see his head don't move. I go with what Peggy was saying, but it was still. It got everybody going. It got everybody excited. I guarantee every Raiders fan was yelling at their TV, cheering, high-fiving it. Oh, I was screaming. You should have seen how insane I was off of that play. So I got to put it in there. I have been calling Jacobs out all season. He's not one of my favorite players as of this year. Is it worried about? Oh yeah, exactly, Cap. He's not worried about his fantasy stats. He's just trying to play games and win games. But I thought that run was deserving the longest run of the season. It was beautiful. It reminded me of Jacobs of last year. You know, I mean, like I said, it got us up off the couch. It put us up 14-0. And I guarantee it got everybody off the couch. I guarantee nobody was sitting during that run. I guarantee it. And if you were, you must have been asleep like that Chiefs fan. That's going around all the fucking thing on. No. See, you don't do that.
Oh, wait.
And I
What
guess
happened? Did you there we go.
Sorry.
There you go.
We both pushing it now. There we go. Crosby gets his sack. Playing injured. You know, I mean, I'm sure everybody's seen the picture of his knee after the game. I mean, he couldn't look there. He couldn't even stand. He didn't even get the fourth behind his kicking in the door there. But, you know, he showed why he's called Mad Max. I mean, I know Peggy wasn't thrilled with him, and I kind of agree with what she has to say. But, I mean, right here, you know, I mean, what more could you say? I mean, I don't, as big as that knee was after the game, and to still get a sack on a mobile quarterback like Mahomes, you know, that's why he's Mad Max. That's why he's probably going to be a Raider till
they drag his dead body off the field.
Yeah, well, you know, so those are my insane plays or playmakers of the game.
My sister says, "Great to see you here, Captain." And Captain says, "Always, Elise," because that's how my sister says her name. Elise. Not like that, not with the accent, but with the long E.
Elise.
I came here for you.
I
heard knee and I had to look away. Well, Alicia, let's show you what the knee looked like after the game.
You got it?
Oh, wait. I'm trying to cue you up, Kay. I'm the assist. There you go. Oh, wait. Let's take Alicia's name. Alicia's coming off so we can see this all together. Look at that. You know, when I put this graphic,
the other knee.
when I put this graphic together, I kept thinking, why is the picture it looks off center? And I looked and said, oh wait, it's because he has one big knee and one little knee,
and then a regular knee. That's what he's got. He's got one of them watermelons.
See, this is the difference between regular barbecue chicken and KFC. One is steroid. I don't know. Not going to put steroid and Max Crosby in the same sentence. I will not do that. I am not trying to put that out there. I'm not trying to say anything like that. Alicia says no.
No. I mean, but that shows a lot. I mean, that kind of shows, you know, how many of us are not even going to work if our knees looking like that.
I had an ankle injury with my previous employer, and I didn't want to be there. I had an actual ligament tear. I have a full, complete tear, which I needed surgery, but I was able to walk regular outside of that place, but inside I had crutches, I had a boot, I had a neck brace. I did it all. I said, I don't want to be here. So, you know, and with that knee, Max Crosby, Cleo Mac. This is what happened after the game, post-game interview with Max Crosby.
You know, obviously you're listed as doubtful and you try to work your way back in. Everybody knows you don't want to miss time. So what has the last couple of days been like?
Been rough. It's a long week. Battled a lot of things, but I don't want to miss any games regardless. You know, things happen in life. I've been through a lot, and you know, in general. So some people, you know, have their opinions, think I'm crazy, but I know I'm crazy. So it's fine. I love it. Everything I do with a purpose, and I did everything in my power all week, and I can't, you know, give enough credit to everybody on the Raiders staff.
What did it take to convince them to get back on the field? Because, you know, obviously you have to kind of talk to them.
Well, there was a lot. It wasn't convincing. It was like, had some real issues going on. Was in the hospital, all type of shit. Yeah, it was tough, but found a way.
Max, what was your feeling? Look, about 4 minutes left in the game, they took you out. You didn't seem too happy about it. What was your feeling in that moment?
I was upset. I got tripped up. on the edge and slammed my body in the ground. So I think they thought I was hurt, and I was banged up a little bit. But like, I didn't want to come off the field. At that point, it was just frustration more than anything. You put everything into it. I played my ass off, and everybody was out there playing their ass off. So like, I just wanted to give our team a chance in a hard time, and I didn't want to come off. So it's simple as that.
How tough was it just on a play-by-play basis to be in there, and how much pain were you actually in during the game?
Oh, we could talk about it all day, but I was in a lot of fucking pain. I'll say that. But it is what it is. Like I said, I train all year round to do this, to give myself the opportunity to play 17 guaranteed games, and if I can go, I'm gonna go. So.
Yeah. Captain said that knee looked like his ankle gout. And Rick says, good for a bye week. Hopefully all good. Has a knee sprain. Rick, going back, and I was gonna put it up until after we were done, or after we were done with the insane plays. But Rick had asked earlier, and I know you love this topic.
Oh yeah, it's okay.
Will they offer JJ a new deal? Josh Jacob, he's on a 1-year deal, like he was last year. The prove it
Not
deal.
even a 1-year deal. He's on a franchise tag.
It's still a 1-year deal.
It's a franchise tag. They have a name for it. We're going to use it.
He's not even on a franchise tag right now.
Yes, he is. It's
No,
a franchise tag.
he bypassed that. He's on a incentive-based a contract that's more.
It's a fucking franchise tag.
It is not.
Okay. To answer the fucking question. To answer the question, it all depends on who the head coach is going to be. If it's AP, yes, they will, because AP says he wants to build a fucking offense around them.
Yes.
If it's somebody else, which we don't know who it could be, we have all kinds of people putting shows out there.
The higher power was on my side. It's not a franchise tag.
I'll fight you too, Captain. It's a franchise tag. Smut.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor.
Anyways, it really all depends on who the coach is going to be. If it's AP, I say they at least offer him a deal. The question is, does he take the deal? What kind of deal does he get offered?
This is okay. Then this is what I was trying to say with Peggy is this season is a throwaway season. Whether McDaniels was still head coach or we got the interim now with the makeshift offense, duct taped together and all that, whatever. Nobody is gonna get. I mean, besides Adams, because he's Adams, and I know the Jets had said that they want to go and whatever it takes, we're gonna get him because we have foreplay. We have Aaron Rodgers who foreplay Rodgers back here ready to throw to you the reunion of the Green Bay now with the Jets. Nobody. Josh Jacobs did not. I mean, he'll still get offers, but Josh Jacobs did not put a highlight reel out there from this season for him to get a good contract that he wants. So if AP is still here, I can see Jacob staying. One, because, out of the respect and that he has, that they're saying that he also has input in how the offense is going. AP has said that we need to give him at least 25 touches in a game for us to have a success, for us to, be successful on the field. And it's hard to say anything with this team because it's like we had a nice, I'm not going to say it was like an expensive luxury vehicle. We had a nice vehicle. Then Josh Jacobs got a hold of it. He got the keys. Got dinged up here, put the wrong, yeah, and instead of putting like high octane 91 fuel, he put diesel by accident, and like it'll start off fast, and I've done that before by accident with a FedEx vehicle. I put the wrong gas in there, and I'm driving, and it's going smooth, and then I had to pull over to the side and wait for AAA to get me. I was still on the clock. I got an extra hour and a half out of it playing Candy Crush on my phone, waiting for them to come and tow it away. They had to drain the engine out before it got even worse because I put the wrong fuel in there. That was my fault. But then again, like I said, I hated that job.
We've been hearing that a lot this show.
Yes, but I feel like that's what now McDaniels. Huh?
Was that Peggy's fault too?
No, it wasn't Peggy's fault. I'm just saying is that it's like you can't. That the vehicle that is the Raiders, it needs a whole pimp my ride makeover because of what McDaniels did, and that's what like, and it was something you said earlier. We were on the phone earlier. It's AP is trying to put this engine back together, at least to get it back home. Let's just get it back home or get it to an actual shop in the off season, and then we'll put the right repairs on it, switch out what we need to switch out, parts or whatever, this and that, so we can actually have it running smooth again for the next year.
We'll catch your shit tomorrow, Captain. Thank you for being on ours. Watch the Peggy portion. Trust me, it's worth it. And just for you, it's schmuck. We'll get
Schmucker's
it right for you,
jelly.
Captain. Schmuck.
Schmucker's jelly with some peanut butter. Wrong one. Okay.
Now go back on. Yeah, we talked today about trying to just put the car together long enough to fucking get your ass back home, and that's all.
Get it back home
right now.
Because it's been a long road. It's been a long road. It feels like it's been forever from when McDaniels got hired to where we're at now. But at least now, like even though we lost to the Dolphins and we lost to the Chiefs, I was more mad at the wins we got with McDaniels than the losses we got with AP because the players at least looked like they were trying. And we're going against the Dolphins' #1 offense, and we slowed them down 6 points in the second half.
20 points total.
20 points total. They averaged 38 at home.
Well, yeah, 38 at home, 35 total, overall the season, and we held them to 20. A 2-0.
Yes. And maybe if O'Connell was at least the number 2 from the beginning of the season, we probably would have had more plays for him to use because and also Peggy said it also. We went against 2 like top tier defensive defense coordinators, Vic Fangio and Spagnuolo.
Yep.
This ain't no, Jack Del Rio. I'm sorry, Jack Del Rio, Hayward native. It's not a Jack Del Rio defense, where it's like middle of the pack. And I know ours, Patrick Graham, he's building that team. I saw not a graphic, but I saw a meme that said something like, we got the lowest payroll on defense and we're like number 12 or something like that. Like we're coming up with what we got, what we're trying to make. And these players are playing more inspired. We're not going to go to the playoffs. We're not going to the playoffs. And I'm not saying that I'm not being negative. I'm not being negative. It's just it's the reality. We're not going to the playoffs.
I'm being real. No, it's real. It's looking at this honestly, taking away being the heart, the Raiders fans, the thing that we always want to do. And this is we're not making the playoffs.
We're not.
I didn't think reality. That's reality. But like I said at the beginning of the show, we want to see the improvement.
Yes.
That's what we're looking for is improvement. Segueing into what about this question right here?
To be honest, I think that AP. Okay, let me start over. The way Mark Davis picks these coaches now, he has 5 now? 5? Dennis Allen. He didn't pick Dennis Allen. That was McKenzie, but under his now he's the owner.
Since 2011.
You have Dennis Allen. Interim, you had Sperano, rest in peace. Then you had Jack Del Rio. Then you had John Gruden, and now you have McDaniels. I'm sorry. Well, then interim Bisaccia, and then McDaniels.
But interim, we won't count interim right now.
Yeah. So actual like planned hired. But what was that? 5 or 4?
5. That's 5.
Okay. So it seemed like with Gruden felt like I want to recapture that magic that was from 10 years ago, late 90s, early 2000s, and it was building there. Unfortunately, we never know how that would have came out because of what happened with all the emails and all that, whatever. Bisaccia comes in, he didn't turn the team around, but he kept them going after all. Yes,
kept the team together. That's what
out of everything, Gruden, Ruggs, Arnett, all this stuff that was going on, he kept them focused, and they made it to the playoffs. And they were close. They were close with the Bengals. They were close with the AFC champions, with the eventual AFC champions.
The Phantom Whistle.
But he listened to outside noise and said, "You need to get a guy who X's and O's."
X's and O's.
And he went with who we thought. Okay, well, McDaniels, Patriots, 20 years of dominance, nine Super Bowl appearances, 6 rings or 7, whatever. Yeah, 8 appearances, 6 rings,
something like that. Yeah.
No. They lost twice to the Giants and once to the Eagles. So 9 appearances, 6 rings. Yes, because then Brady got 7. Yeah, on his own, the 7th. So he thought, I'll get him and it'll turn us around automatically. Nope. Because he's not a player's coach. I'm not saying you need a player's coach, but you need someone that's going to allow the players to be players. John Madden had once said, you can't have these players be robots. You got to let them be themselves and just let things come out fluently. Let them play the game. And I feel like because he most likely regrets not hiring Bisaccia.
No. He doesn't probably. It has been said he regrets not keeping Bisaccia.
Yes.
He regrets it. So that being said, with the regret and not as many people, we know of 2 in his ear now. Do you think do you think we keep AP?
I think the top candidates, of course, AP. I heard that he might even reconsider at least interviewing Bisaccia again. I don't know if Bisaccia would work because it's not the same guys as it was 2 years ago. If you would have kept them, I think there would have been a higher chance of you keeping them that it'll work because it continues over. To try to go backwards and redo your mistake, I don't think that's going to work.
I think it's a bad idea to hire Bisaccia now.
Yes.
Not then, but now.
Yes.
My thing is, I hope they keep AP.
Yes.
AP is who I want. That's who I want to keep the continuity. I made it clear. I think if AP continues down the road for the next 5 games, the way he's been going, he will have proved himself to be the next head coach.
Yeah. I'm treating this the rest of the season, and I said it in the last episode, I'm treating this season like an extended preseason. We're not going anywhere. We're not going to the playoffs. We're not going to the playoffs this year. And like I said, I'm not being negative. I'm just looking at the reality. I just want to see this team. I want to see O'Connell, and he's been progressing. And to be honest, really,
he's been improving. I'm talking to fans who have said O'Connell's not the guy. AP's not the guy. Just because we have 2 fucking losses.
2 top teams.
To 2 teams who are either going to make the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl. It wasn't even, these are teams that are favored to make and or win the Super Bowl.
These 2 teams will probably play each other in the AFC Championship game at the end of the year.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
You're right. Now, here's the question, though. Oh, okay. Go ahead and answer it because you haven't really answered yet. Go ahead.
Well, I'm going to say that I feel like he will hire AP to amend his mistake of not keeping Bisaccia.
Okay.
Bisaccia, the difference between Bisaccia's situation and AP situation is Bisaccia had already an established offense with John Gruden. They've been doing that for the last three seasons before, 4 seasons before, with the quarterback that knows that system.
It was the fourth season, I think.
First, yeah. 2 in Oakland, and then he was in the second year in Las Vegas.
In Las Vegas, yeah.
Yes. Bisaccia had an established offensive system. He had a quarterback that knew that system in and out because he was running it for the last 3 years, going on his 4th year in that system. And that they simplified the defense. They got a new defensive coordinator to just just get the players to just play off of instinct in whatever. He had a more established system when he coached.
Well, he had more established team. They were all playing together. It wasn't a lot of 1 year, 2 year guys, because this is the first year that is McDaniel's guys.
Yeah.
So this is a whole lot different situation than it is when Bisaccia took over.
Yes.
Now, I want to go to Rick's question here, though, because you and me have talked about this.
Will the Raiders make a trade for
there we go.
Devontae Adams for picks?
Make a trade for the okay. We've talked about this because this is coming from the whole thing of the story that came out that the Jets are going to be relentless about getting Devontae Adams.
Yes.
Now, I'll let you go first because you already know how I feel about all this. And I'll put it out here and everything. And this leads into my answer leads into part of what Peggy was talking about when it comes to idol worship.
I'm going to say, see, this one is, and I'm not saying it's hard. Like I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think as the new so let's say it's Champ Kelly. He's the interim GM, and they took the title off. Now you're the GM. Your first big major move is to trade Adams because the Jets offered you, let's say, 3 first rounds. You own the Jets pick the next 3 years or whatever. You own their whole draft for the next 2 years or something.
You fucking thief.
You have like Champ Kelly, his first move would be to trade away Adams, and he has to separate, and that's what GMs have to do. You have to separate business from emotion. Business from emotion, business from what the fans think you're supposed to do, the fans' perspective. And that's the old saying, you think like a fan, you start sitting next to them. You lose your job. So I'm going to say, if he can separate that and just, I'm going to be the GM, I can't let the outside noise, the social media warriors out there, the Twitter fingers tell me how to do my job. I say I can see that happening. If he can separate, I'm a GM, this is what I get paid to do, is to make the decisions for the teams now and in the future, not for the fans' idolization. Yeah. So I would say I can see it if he can separate the two, because I'm trying to think as the GM, because he's the one that has to pull that trigger. So yeah.
I agree. Well, no, and as we talked about over the phone, we've talked about this actual question for the last 2 weeks since that article came out.
Yeah.
So since that article came out, I have put it to you this way. Do we ask for the farm? Do we go out and say, okay, it's going to take 3 first rounds and 3 first rounders and 2 second rounders? Do we turn that down? If we turn around and put that out there, and they say, yeah, we'll give that to you, do we turn it down? That's something that you don't necessarily turn down. And I go off of this based off of thinking like a GM. You know how I feel about the draft. I'm not a big fan of the draft and picking players out of the draft and shit like that because they're unproven players.
Yeah.
I've said this for years. I'm not a big fan of that.
It's all based on their potential. They can do this. They can be great.
They can be great. They can do this. Jamarcus Russell was exposed to be this.
Maybe if you had a State Farm as an insurance on these draft picks, maybe Nah,
Maybe,
okay.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. But now, with those draft picks, you have 3 first-round draft picks. Now you can turn those into proven players by using these said draft picks and trading for a a fucking Jalen Carter, a fucking Aaron Rodgers. I'm just throwing names out here, big names.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones, there you go. Because who's not going, if you could give up 2 first-round picks for a Chris Jones, who says the Chiefs don't take that? Now, what did you get? You get a Chris Jones for a Devontae Adams while you got Jacoby Myers or Hunter Renfrow, and you drafted Trey Tucker, you drafted another wide receiver. To me, I'm not opposed to asking for the moon since they're saying that they'll do anything that it takes. Ask for the moon. And if they give it, now there comes time for the GM to say, well, I asked for this. Now do I accept it?
Yeah.
Who would have thought we got, 2 first rounders and 2 second rounders for John Gruden?
And $8 million.
And $8 million. And we talked about this exact situation. That's hard to turn down regardless of what's going on. He was doing good. But, what?
We asked for the farm for DA, build your future, and get some defense or offensive line from them as well. Player trade as well, like a shutdown corner or a right tackle, etc. There are needs.
We talked about, I brought this up. Now, I don't necessarily think corner is a way we got to go, but I said, if we get first-round picks and Sauce Gardner and fucking, on that, do you turn that down?
No, you can't.
You can't turn that down. This is where Peggy was talking about the idolization. There's going to be people who disagree with me 100%. You don't trade the best wide receiver in the fucking NFL. But yet, who do we say the best receiver on the team is this year?
Jacoby Myers.
Adams.
No. And even Green Bay, they gave up Devontae Adams for what, a 2? It wasn't a 1. Wasn't it like a 2?
I think it was a 2, something like that. Yeah.
Like a 2 and a 3 or something like that.
Yeah, some shit like that. So, if the price is right, ain't no player safe.
Yeah. I can go back to baseball, and I'm still mad about it, when the A's had the best record in baseball, and on one random Wednesday, I wake up and I see my phone says ESPN update. Cespedes was traded to the Mets. No, traded to the Red Sox. Traded to the Red Sox. Lester Hayes. John Lester.
John Lester. Hey, I had half the name right.
and the thinking behind it, Billy Bean, was, well, we need good pitching in the playoffs, and that's what we need. He's a shutdown pitcher. That's all we need. Okay. After that happened, the team went down because there was nobody on the lineup that was really scary to any of the pitchers that we went against. We went from the number one offense. We went from the number 1 record in Major League, but not just the American League, but Major League Baseball, and we dropped down to try to get into that wild card playing game, which we lost, and our starting pitcher was Lester, and he gave up, I believe it was like 5 runs. You're supposed to be...
hold on, wasn't that to the Blue Jays where we were playing fucking Donaldson as well? Who we gave up the year before?
No, well Donaldson left like the year or 2 after. So that whole team was
okay, that was after. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
And then Donaldson, he got traded to the Blue Jays, and that year, his first year, he was the MVP.
MVP, yep.
It was MVP. So, no player is safe. Everyone loves Cespedes, even though he was a little iffy out there in left field.
Hey, I got a baseball bat that's autographed by him, by Cespedes, Riddick, the right fielder, and Donaldson.
Yeah.
While all 3 of them were still on the fucking team. And
now,
it's a black bat in silver ink. So it fits with the Raider motif. But
And even okay, and I know like half Raider Nation hated the trade of Khalil Mack. Now I was all like, Khalil Mack didn't want to be here. He wanted whatever the situation was.
And to me, that there alone was made it worth trade. He did not want to play for Gruden.
No, we got Josh Jacobs out of those picks, which
Yes,
is because really the only pick that lasted from that draft.
Yeah, because Arnett was one of them, I believe, and the other one was Abram.
I don't know if Abram. I don't know. It was around that time though.
No. Cleveland Farrell. No, that was that was from our play. Anyways, whatever it was, we did get Jacobs from it.
You see, A's owner sucks, and they're going to be out there in Vegas sharing the same stadium with the Raiders. I can't wait.
They're not
Take it back.
I would love that. I would love to fucking see that goddamn baseball diamond in the middle of the field again.
Yes.
I would love to see that. That was fucking a home field advantage that only the Raiders had for fucking many years.
Yes.
Nobody wanted to be tackled, and nobody wanted to kick off that dirt. They hated that dirt, except for Raiders. They were like, fuck it, give me the dirt. We're going to fucking pound you right into it.
Looking like you're sliding into second, but you're playing football. See, that's the kind of football that Bo Jackson loved. Baseball and football, even though they were in LA, they weren't in Oakland when Bo Jackson was with the Raiders. But anyways, yeah, I mean,
but it was all in one. He did both, and it was all in one. So he if he had the choice to play on the same field, I mean, he'd have had the advantage all the way around. If he could have been an A and a fucking Oakland Raider, that'd have been.
I use the same locker for both. Shows up to the A's game in shoulder pads. My bad. I got mixed up.
Hey, fucking, it'd be easy because you know what? If they weren't playing in baseball, I'd just stay right here. Yeah, okay, here we go. I'll play football this day.
Yep.
We wouldn't have to wait, 4 or 5 games for him to play football.
Yeah. Well, they say he can get off the plane. He can play 9 innings of baseball, get off the plane, and then come and run for 100 and whatever yards for the Raiders.
I don't doubt it. He was one of a kind. He was a pure athlete. No matter what he did, he excelled at. And if it wasn't for that freak injury against the goddamn fucking Bengals, he probably would have all the running back records. I'm sorry. That's the way I look at it. He'd have been the best running back in the NFL. Period.
They probably would have won the Super Bowl that year because when he got hurt, the next game they played was the AFC Championship game against the Bills. And because that was their whole offense was Bo Jackson running over everybody. The Bills beat the Raiders like 52-3 or something like that. Then they ended up losing to the Giants, I think, 1990.
That was that 4-game stretch of the Bills.
Yeah. I mean, that's still pretty good. Go to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row, even though you lost them all. It's kind of like a push.
No, hey, that's impressive enough as in its own, because everybody else is playing for second. To go to 4 straight Super Bowls, and no team done that, whether you lose it or not.
Yeah,
nobody's done 4 straight before or since the Bills.
Yeah,
Bills are the only team that have done that.
They lost them all though, and twice to the Cowboys. Or was it the Giants? No, the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah,
but yeah, if they trade, I don't know, because even Devontae, the way his sideline on the sidelines when they lose. It's not like Randy Moss sitting at the edge of the bench with his helmet just kind of slouching. It's not like that, but I mean, this is what happened, and this is what happened. Mark Davis hired McDaniels, and Ziegler was able to pull the trigger and get Devontae to the team.
That was probably one of the best things Ziegler's did. I'll give him that much.
It sucks because it's like we wasted that opportunity to have a receiver like that on.
You gotta remember, Adams wanted to come to the Raiders. Was one of 2 or 3 teams he was willing to get traded to because he wanted to play with Derek Carr.
Yeah, and McDaniels
fucked that
peed
up.
all over that. He pissed all over that.
He didn't even piss all over it. He fucking he went above R. Kelly and fucking straight shit all over that shit. 2 girls in a cup. That's what he did.
2 girls in a cup. That is old school. If you only know about that if
he blue waffled that shit, okay?
You only know about 2 girls in a cup if you had LimeWire on your computer. You had viruses and 2 girls in a cup videos on your computer. My computer doesn't work anymore because of LimeWire, and I have seen that video. I was like, that is an interesting way to make a Sunday. But hey, any given Sunday, right?
Any given Sunday. So to answer that question long about way, it really depends. I mean, I'm not opposed to offering like you said, ask for the farm, and if they offer it, if they accept it, fucking take it.
Ask for the farm to give away the sacred cow. Do not trade your sacred cow for beanstalk beans.
No, don't get 3 beans because that leads to the Giants and all kinds of other bullshit.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like what we did with McDaniels. Fee, fight, fo, fum. I'm a coach who's really dumb. Anyways, we hit the 2 or 5 minutes over the 2-hour mark. Cause that first hour was the fireworks, and we're trying to recover.
First hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah. Peggy came out firing on all cylinders, and like I said, thank you for
firing with all cannons. She lined that ship up and let them all fly.
Thank goodness for the bye, because I believe I am in concussion protocol. I got the wrong stats up. We all want DA to stay. Fix the O line.
No, I'm saying trade them, but if the price is right, if they, you can't turn down, because, as I say, you could use draft picks to turn around and get, the right draft picks to the right team. You could get another wide receiver to complement Jacoby Myers, because we got Jacoby Myers for 3 years, so 2 more years after this. DA's not untouchable.
Speaking of barbecue chicken, like I said, barbecue chicken and KFC chicken. That is your difference right there. Come on, Max. We got to get better.
You know what I think is funny is that sock tan he's showing right there.
Oh, you got to go back then. You got to show it again. Yeah.
Right
no,
there,
that's not a tan. That's a bruise.
That's not a bruise. I'm talking about on his foot. Look at his foot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Up to the end of the sock, and then you got the rest of the fucking leg being tanned.
Yeah.
That's the white version of a farmer's tan.
Maybe that's not his actual leg, and he wants you to believe that. Competitive advantage,
It's a conspiracy. There you go.
He's like, look, my knee is busted, and it's actually like some fat dude who he's at the sauna with, hey. Let's just play a prank. This is here, Bubba. Let's play a prank.
Let's play a prank.
Anyways,
with that said, you're under the weather there, Rick. I know the feeling. I was under the weather the last couple of weeks.
So was Max Crosby.
Well, that was because of bacteria in the fluid in his knee.
Hey, like I said, that's the wrong one. Like I said, Rick is the Max Crosby of our show, because even though he's working, even though he's under the weather, even though he's busy, he's still on the show, making comments, participating, adding to the content that we have on the show. But it's about time to go, because it's about to be dinner over here. Rick is about to barbecue chicken over there. So it's the bye week. There's no football for us. I'll be busy on Sunday.
I'll be sad.
The football gods have helped me out. This Sunday is my stepson's birthday.
Oh, there you go.
Come here. Happy birthday on Sunday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. My birthday soon.
What are you turning? 24?
How old are you turning?
Between 9.
9.
9? Oh, okay. I was close.
So, yep. With that, happy birthday, Emiliano. I'm turning him to a Raider fan. He's learning new words. I got to tell him not to repeat in school because he watched the games together now. So,
yeah, that's a true Raiders fan right there.
yes. So, hold on. I want you to give it. Say Raiders real loud.
Rise!
There you go.
Raiders!
All right. With that, let's end the show. Well, actually, any last words? Any last words, Asylum, before you go back into the cell until the next game?
No, I mean, unfortunately, we'll have a show next week. I guess we'll be talking about the Vikings game coming up. But other than that, with no football, I'll probably, be going on Sunday instead of watching football. So,
yeah. Football don't exist unless it's silver and black for me. I'm sorry.
And, I'll watch all kinds of other games, but that's only because I'm waiting for the Raiders to come on.
Yeah, I mean, I'll set my fantasy team, but I'll just let the phone.
I set the fantasy team. That's
Yeah.
already been done.
Yeah.
That's already been done.
But as for watching football, I mean, my Raiders ain't playing, so I don't. And then you can say whatever you want. I love football, but I'm a Raider fan.
Yep.
Sick and tired of seeing all these other teams do better than us too. So I don't want to see it. All right. With that, we're gonna end the way we always end with Raider Milt, Coach Wallace. Not final words, but rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peach, peaches, rest in peace, Coach Wallace, Raider Milt. All right then. Peace out, everybody. Bye week. Get your rest. Max Crosby, drain that knee.
Get healthy.
And
get that knee drained and stay healthy.
Add more plays to the offense. O'Connell is the answer. I'm saying it right here. O'Connell's the answer. Bounds and strides, or whatever the phrase is. He's getting better each week. Let's see how he comes. We'll talk about what we think next week against the Vikings at home. Boom. All right.
All you other NFL teams, your tailgates are weak. Your teams are weak. We might be down right now, but it doesn't take away the history. And all you Raiders out there need to know your fucking history of who the fuck you playing for and where the fuck you're playing. Damn it. Oh, and by the way, I won my last cage fight. Again, I'm still undefeated. And you NFL motherfuckers out there that you think you want some, come on and get some anytime.